Some aircraft are so massive that they barely look real. Machines with wings wider than football fields, aircraft capable of carrying tanks, rockets, helicopters, and even other aircraft. Some were built to transport hundreds of passengers across the world. Others existed for one purpose only, carrying loads too large for anything else on Earth. These are not just airplanes, they are engineering giants. Today, we're looking at some of the largest aircraft ever built, and once you see their size, normal airplanes start looking tiny. Let's start with one of the most recognizable aircraft in history, the Boeing 747. When it first entered service in the late 1960s, it completely changed air travel. Before the 747, flying long distances was expensive and limited to fewer passengers. But the 747 changed that by carrying hundreds of people at once. Its iconic hump-shaped upper deck made it instantly recognizable anywhere in the world. For decades, it became the symbol of international travel. The later 747-8 pushed the design even further with a longer fuselage, improved engines, and enormous cargo capacity. Even today, few aircraft are as recognizable as the Queen of the Skies. But Boeing wasn't the only company trying to build bigger aircraft. Then came the Airbus A380, the largest passenger aircraft ever built. Unlike most airliners, the A380 has two full passenger decks from front to back. In some configurations, it can carry more than 800 passengers. This thing felt less like an airplane and more like a flying building. Some airlines even installed showers, lounges, and private suites on board. But the craziest part wasn't inside the aircraft, it was what happened outside. The A380 was so large and heavy that airports around the world had to redesign gates, widen taxiways, and strengthen infrastructure just to support it. Very few aircraft in history forced airports themselves to adapt. But not every giant aircraft was designed for passengers. The Boeing 777 became famous for something different: efficiency. Despite being one of the largest twin-engine aircraft ever built, it was powerful enough to fly extremely long distances using only two engines. That changed the airline industry completely. The 777 proved that massive aircraft didn't always need four engines anymore. Today, it remains one of the most successful long-haul aircraft ever created. But when it comes to pure cargo capability, things become even more extreme. The Lockheed C-5 Galaxy was built for one mission: moving military equipment anywhere on Earth as quickly as possible. Its cargo hold is so enormous that tanks, armored vehicles, and helicopters can drive directly inside. The aircraft even opens from both the nose and rear for faster loading. And because it can refuel mid-air, the C-5 can operate almost anywhere in the world with incredible range. It isn't glamorous, but few aircraft can move heavy military equipment faster. Then there's one of the strangest-looking aircraft ever made, the Airbus Beluga. At first glance, it almost looks cartoonish. Its giant rounded fuselage was designed for one reason: transporting oversized aircraft parts. Entire sections of airplanes are loaded inside the Beluga and flown between Airbus factories across Europe. Without aircraft like this, modern airplane production would become far slower and more difficult. But even the Beluga looks normal compared to what comes next: the Antonov An-225, the largest and heaviest aircraft ever to fly. Originally built by the Soviet Union to transport the Buran space shuttle, the An-225 became an aviation legend. It had 6 engines, 32 wheels, and a maximum takeoff weight of around 640 tons. Its cargo hold was so massive that it carried generators, locomotives, wind turbine blades, and oversized industrial equipment that no other aircraft on Earth could transport. Only one was ever completed, and in 2022, during the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the aircraft was destroyed. For aviation enthusiasts around the world, it felt like losing something far bigger than a machine. But even the AN-225 doesn't hold every record, because the widest aircraft ever built is something entirely different, the Stratolaunch Roc. This aircraft has the largest wingspan in aviation history. Its wings stretch an unbelievable 117 meters across, longer than a football field. The Roc looks almost unreal, with two separate fuselages connected by one enormous wing. But its purpose is even more unusual. It was designed to launch rockets from the air. Instead of rockets taking off from the ground, the Roc carries them high into the atmosphere before release. That saves fuel and allows launches to happen more efficiently. Today, it's also being used for hypersonic flight testing, which means this giant aircraft could help shape the future of aerospace technology itself. And that's the strange thing about the world's largest aircraft. They weren't built just to look impressive. They were built because humanity kept creating problems too large for ordinary airplanes to solve. Transporting armies, moving hundreds of passengers, launching spacecraft, carrying cargo too massive for anything else on Earth. Every one of these aircraft pushed engineering beyond what once seemed possible. And even today, they still remind us how far aviation technology has come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy learning how massive machines and hidden systems really work, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.